Yo, all right. So I've wanted to talk about my music for such a long time. For such a long time, I wanted to like talk about the music I've been making. It's one of the many things that I can do, right? Producing music. I make music as a means of tapping into my emotions and as a means of relieving stress. Okay, and for me to process some of the things that I'm going through. You know, I will say that music has been a big part of my life. I used to play the guitar when I was younger. I, took lessons and I self-taught, and then I fell out of it. But, muscle memory is still there. I still remember a lot of the chords, a lot of the rhythms, and a lot of playing guitar laid the foundation of me understanding music and how music is put together, right? And so I started producing music back in 2020 during literally the pandemic, like the pandemic. And because I had nothing else to do, I had nothing else to do. And I had initially bought the Akai Mini MPC, the Akai Mini, whatever it's called, right? To produce music for my clothing brand that I had at the time, because I was getting too many copyright strikes for my sunglasses that I was putting out there. And I was like, man, I can't really push this brand as far as I want to because I'm using other people's music. So, that was the initial plan, that was the initial goal. But then the pandemic happened, and then I was locked in, I had nothing else to do. I had subscribed to Splice and I had, all these credits, and I was like, you know what, let me just make some music. So the very first song that I made was Live With Your Choices, because I was at a very low point in my life when I made that song, because everything was just crashing down, like crashing at once. I was losing contact with my friends. I was losing money for my business because I was funneling money into my business to keep it afloat while it was not bringing in any revenue at all. So I was just in the red. And I was just like, dude, this sucks. And then I was just seeing people die, seeing death all around me. The protests and everything was just a lot to handle during that time. And so I just completely shut off. I just went and I just dived into my music and just dived into producing music, and I produced Live With Your Choices. And Live With Your Choices was a very reflective piece for me, because that's what it was. Like, I had nothing else to do but to reflect and think about the choices that I've made while I was locked in. And so, I found the initial melody. I'll put like what keys in, but then after that, I just started playing freehand with the piano and freehand with the beats and everything. And one thing I definitely recognize is that there's a possibility that I may have perfect pitch. I don't know. I might have to get tested for that. But I will hear a melody, and I just know what notes will fit with that melody, or what other keys will fit with that melody. That's the thing. Like, I can't explain it. Like, it's like second nature to me. And so when I made that song, I just got lost, and I was in a trance when I made that song. And for me, that song, I don't even listening to that song. I really don't, because it just brings me back to being locked in. It just brings me back to that moment in time that I just want to think about. It was a very mentally draining moment of my life. And, it's my first song, but it's the song that I just don't like going back to listen. It just brings up very uncomfortable memories of my life. It brings up a very uncomfortable period of my life, And, when you hear the song, it's very solemn, it's very melancholy. It's just very gray, and that's what I wanted to capture. I wanted to capture that mood, I wanted to capture what it was like being stuck in the house without truly knowing what's gonna happen next. But that song, in a way, did save me, because that song was the catalyst that opened the door for me to keep making music and to keep remaining mentally stable, man. Making music in the pandemic and making music in general to process what I'm going through keeps me sane and keeps me stable. And honestly, if I didn't make Live With Your Choices, I probably would have lost my mind. Right? Because after I made Live With Your Choices, I started just making other songs to just, supplement the fact that I was doing nothing. I was making no money. I was doing nothing in my life, you know? But yeah, guys, you know, enjoy, live your choices. I hope you see what I was trying to get at with that track. All right, it's very deep. It's very reflective. I have so many more songs I'm gonna share with you guys. The goal is to make more performance videos and not separate the music from the main channel, because at the end of the day, music really is what influences my writing. Without music, I cannot see the stories that I want to write. It'd be a sin and a disservice to myself, but more importantly, a disservice to God if I hide this side of myself from the world, you know? The music that I made, like, this is the thing. I just recently started putting out my music. I made so many songs, but I kept them to myself because it was for me to process and to fully understand what I was going through on an emotional level. But the thing is, you know, my mom and a couple of my friends have told me that music is meant to be shared with the world, and you should share what you create and share, you know, the story behind the process and how these songs made you feel with the world, because it can probably help someone else. And when they said it that way, I was like, yeah, you know what, you're right. It's, I gotta stop hiding this part of myself. And, you know, God doesn't want you to hide your gifts. You know, God doesn't want you to hide the gifts that He's given you. He wants you to showcase the glory that He has given you, you know, and music is definitely a gift of mine that, you know, I'm very grateful that I'm able to, you know, hone, but, you know, no more hiding. And, you know, I am going to be sharing with you guys the music that I've made over the last 4 years, man. There's a lot of music. But yeah, anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching, okay? Have a good day, okay? Praise be to God, Elohim, for there is none greater, okay? And I will see you in the next video. Be safe, be well, and may God be with you.